you need to learn physics and chemical. I know time is a little late, and I will make shorter. Abdullah, can you help me change this? Give the Gisam, give it. Change the page. It is without glass. It is very difficult for me. Okay. Go. Go.
So what?
Yeah. Okay. Well, technical textile. The priority for the technical textile is the function. What is the function of the technical textile? And then strong enough. The aesthetic is the last one. Go. My company, ITTI, work in two branches, industrial textile and geotextile. Both are branches of technical textile. You see here how to grow technical textile in the global market. These are our products. We produce filter bag, ironic felt, air slide bulb for cement factories, felt for synthetic leather as a substrate, geotextile, and undercolor. This is some picture from applications. Just a minute, come back. For example, this wool felt for cotton spinning mills. Okay, go ahead. This endless belt for biscuit factory, for food industry. This is makwa tarabisa. This is a filter bags and test. This is back house. This back house is very interesting back house. This is regenerating from old accumulator, old battery. And the dust is product. If you regain the old dust, this is the money. This is the air slide bond. There is a very interesting mechanism. If somebody interested, I can explain, especially for students. What is this one? They don't use it. Excuse me, I am not a professional speaker. The industrial textile producer is a kind of tailor-made producer. Always our customer require different specialty. And you have to know and you have to understand your customers. For example, if your filter works at 190 centigrade degree, you can choose meta-aramide or P84 or EPTF member laminated glass fabric. But very important things here, the money, how economic. We come get back. Always don't care filter bags. All design with this principle. Function of our products. And then working condition, and then economy and optimum strength. You can use very expensive material, but the customer cannot buy. I will go very fast. You go, no. I will say to you, Judge. Suitable bag selection. Dear student, if you don't understand your customer, you cannot change, you cannot choose the real filter bag. Why you say you love the chemistry and physics, you have to understand, for example, the dust is very sharp. The weight of filter bag must be more, or there is more oxygen. The meta-aramide is perfect fiber. Meta-aramide can work at 200 centigrade degree. It is amazing. The polyester can work up to 150. But if there is the more oxygen, it cannot work. If there is the more steam in the gas, it cannot work. You have to know what is the hydrolyze. If you don't know what is the hydrolyze, don't enter this business. You cannot be a technical textile producer. Okay. You see here moisture content, dimensional stability, resistance shrinkage. The filter bags, yesterday Mr. Mohammed from National Research showed you with the video, the filter bag make this movement. The filter bag cannot enlarge. If they enlarge, cannot work. And the leg must be safe. And if there is the moisture content, for example, polyester cannot work. The polyester can work at 150 centigrade degree, perfect. If there is the moisture, the same fabric can work up to 95 degree. Did you understand the difference? I say again, if the dry heat, polyester can work up to 150 centigrade degree. If there is the moisture, it can work until 95 degree. For example, if you produce cement, there is a grinding mill. Some grinding mill will be cooled with the water, because after 120 centigrade degree, the chemistry of cement change. This is very bad quality cement, and the building can collapse. If you use polyester, in this case, polyester will be same as a floor because of hydrolyze. Okay, go ahead. We mentioned very briefly. I need again Natara. Why this can come this one? Why I say physics? You see these filter bags? Maybe you cannot see exactly. Some filter bags is very near. It is impossible. I didn't see until now exactly parallel. In the theory, the filter bags are parallel, but you cannot see all are same. Here, very important things: the space between two filters. You have to know about the physics, and you have to talk with the OM. Do you know what is the OM? Who produced the backhouse? You have to talk with the backhouse producer. You have to know same terminology. We talked about polyester, but here is the very important, again, chemistry. If there is a line factor, and if you produce calcium hydroxide, and the polyester is cheaper and very high strength, okay, use the polyester. The result is very bad. Polyester cannot resist against the line 13 times. You have to use acrylic, but there are two kinds of acrylic: copolymer acrylic and homopolymer acrylic. Copolymer acrylic for the daily dressing, homopolymer acrylic for industry. You have to use homopolymer acrylic. Or there is another possibility, you have to use polypropylene, but there are a lot of different polypropylene. Troll. This is another industrial type polypropylene. Please come back. Why you have to know chemistry? This is the life. In Turkey, there were 15 accidents and 20 people died. This is not joke, your life. If you use technical textile, this is the same as a gun. If you wanted to use the gun, must work. Carbon monoxide. Mr. Mohammed explained. Carbon monoxide is a half reaction. Always carbon monoxide want to be carbon dioxide, and very dangerous. What they did in Turkey before, I don't remember exactly, before 1980, all factories used fuel oil, but the fuel oil price increased. The cement factory wanted to change the fuel to coal. But the coal dust is very dangerous. When you burn the coal dust, appeared carbon dioxide. What they did? Very simple. Same as the Egyptian people. Malish, they opened the door. If they opened the door, the fresh air entered the back house. It's bomb. This is bomb. Rahmetullah Ali. No problem. And what we did in Turkey, first time we produced in Turkey a special product, and the European followed us. You mentioned about the carpet, anti-static. Static electricity is very, very important. Especially the women know very well the television collects all dust because of the electricity. And for the bake production, anti-static electricity is very important. We mix it polyester, polyamide, and polyacrylic. And there is a turboelectric charge line. If chargeability is different, the result is neutral. This is the solution. Okay, good. Sample? Good. Hot gas filtration. What we say hot gas, we separate the filtration. Hot gas filtration and normal gas filtration. If the temperature is more than 150, this is hot gas filtration. And we use high performance fiber. If you work in the field of technical textile, you have to follow every day what will be happening, what are the innovations. For example, in Tunisia there is a new fiber, I don't remember the name, high performance fiber produced in Tunisia. If you don't follow what is the news, you cannot understand anything. What do you think? Any student can say a fiber can work how much maximum degree? It is possible 650. If you want to see, I will show you. Japan Toyoba produce a fiber, PBO. It works 150 centigrade degree. You have to know all kinds of fibers. If you are not good follower, after school, okay, close the book, you are an engineer. Don't enter this business. Good. Time is very short. I don't explain about PA4, but if somebody interested, I can give information. I came here especially for Russia. Unfortunately, there is a big terrorist attack in Sinai. They didn't come. It was the big chance for Egypt and for me. Why? The Americans sent some spacecraft and they used a lot of high-performance fiber. For example, DuPont produced meta-aramide or para-aramide, Kevlar, and others. The Russians did. Maybe I have to say Soviet Union, they produced, but they didn't market. It is very interesting. Maybe because of ideology, they produced same fibers, but the others marketed with the perfect prices. But the Russian still they are not in the market. The Belarus, in Kazakhstan, there are some factories, they produce high performance fibers and they afraid and they didn't come. I don't understand this. Okay, go ahead. This is I am not agree with this. I changed this one. Filter medial for dust filtration is two kinds of surface filtration and deep filtration. Deep filtration for air conditioning inside of valve. The surface filtration, always filtration on the surface. What are we doing? If the dust coming, we collect here, and with the reverse air, release the cake. But there is a good technology, APTF membrane. When come the others, if you use APTF membrane, the small particles cannot penetrate inside and always release very easily. This is more expensive product. For example, we cannot produce. We buy and sieve. Inshallah, we will produce in Egypt. And then this is expensive but very economical. Because this valve may be work 1 year, 2 years. This valve can work 5 years. And with the zero emission. With the zero emission. If the dust is very important for you, is there anybody live in Helwan? Very dusty zone and very dangerous for the health. I am sure if you follow the statistic, there are a lot of people died because of the cancer.
Yes.
Why I say to you, this is in the same time your life.
Bronchoasthma also. Bronchoasthma also.
Bronchoasthma. Okay.
Oh, okay, we explain. What are we doing? Our technology makes smooth surface with the singeing technology. But it must be perfect. If there is some hair, the dust come here and humidity, and you cannot release the cake, same as here. And blinding, plugging is very shortly. You have to be very careful. You have to make your job perfectly. If you don't make your job perfectly, you see, useless. And in our technology, we make water repellency and oil repellency. Liquid filtration. We produce some filter fabric, all are woven for the filter press for this filter. Now I mention about El Marco. I worked with El Marco. This is a Czech company. We studied innovation, but we are not successful. They are successful to produce, I can show you, for diesel engine filters. But the bike filters move so much, and when they make electrospinning layer, they separate. But nanotechnology is a feature for technical textile in the field of bag, filter bag. If you see, if you cover the surface with the electrospinning, higher air permeability, small pore size, and what is this? Unique physical and mechanical performance, and perfect chemical ability. But it takes time. Today I will visit your nano laboratory. Inshallah, we can do in this university this kind of filter bags. This is not my business. For information, we talked about nano and filter bags. There is another filter bags, Havak. This is for air conditioning system. For example, must be. But there is another important thing. I speak always to students. Cheaper, cheaper, cheaper. For example, there is an operation room in the hospital. This kind of filter must be antibacterial. But you can say it is not important. Put normal one. And then after operation, there is a lot of problem with the patient, with the illness, sick person. Anybody cannot understand what is the reason. The reason is the wrong filter bag. The purchasers say, oh, looking is same, no difference. Buy it. You cannot buy. What I produced before in Turkey, I produced felt for corrugated board production. I produced some belt and roll for aluminum extrusion line. This is a kind of felt for play, but I didn't see in Egypt. The women don't use the plated cloth. And this is the samporizing machine, and this is the samporizing felt. This is endless felt. When I was young, if we buy a blue jean, we went to sea, and all day we swim, and then the blue jean shrinkage. Now there are samporizing machine. You are very lucky, and you don't need to buy larger blue jean and then shrinkage. This machine do this job, and this endless felt is a big job. That's all. Thank you very much for listening with the patience.
Thank you. Now, any questions or queries?
Please, Mr.
Thank you.
Are you using the glass fiber anymore?
I bought from Andrew Weberon and from Tetratex Donaldson semi-finished product. I use it and perfect results. And the future is nanotech. Now the future is FFTF membrane laminated glass fiber. But after 10 years, it will be nanotechnology. It is amazing filter bags. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you. Now we are going to introduce to you a presentation describing the style of the ancient Egyptians and their culture and traditions under the supervision of Mrs. هناء حليم.
سيداتي سادتي، أهلا وسهلا بسيادتكم. سوف نقدم لكم عرض تقديمي عن الحضارة المصرية القديم الذي تم إعداده والإشراف عليه دكتور هناء حليم.
On Egypt land, an ancient civilization has been originated, which has a special character, derived its own specificity from its natural and cultural environment. And by studying the history of art and editing critical analysis for art selections of this civilization, we can recognize our history, culture, and disclosure of the most important characteristics which reflects its civilizational products, and distinction between aesthetic values for cultures, arts that succeeded on it over the ages in this field, and the field of architecture, sculpture, painting, and applied art. It is the ancient Egyptian, Coptic, and Islamic art.
قامت على أرض مصر حضارة عريقة لها طابعها المميز، استمدت خصوصيتها من بيئتها الطبيعية والثقافية، ومن خلال دراسة تاريخ الفنون والتحليل النقدي الجمالي لمختارات من فنون تلك الحضارة، يمكن التعرف على تاريخنا وثقافتنا والكشف على أهم سماتها المنعكسة في منتجاتها الحضارية، والتمييز بين القيم الجمالية للفنون والثقافات التي تعاقبت عليها عبر العصور في مجالات العمارة والنحت والتصوير والفنون التطبيقية، وهي الفن المصري القديم القبطي الإسلامي.
And now, it's time to go. Thank you so much for paying attention with us. Mahab al-Sharbini and Israel Khayat.
Thanks, Molly, for listening to us. Goodbye and good luck. الآن وقت الختام. عن شكرا جزيلا لاهتمامكم وسماعك يعني الفيديو.
Is using of the title of the session is using of the biogeometry engineering to obtain advanced woven design for treatment of the breast children. Dr. Nashwa.
As a brief for the subject, biogeometry engineering is considered as one of the major modern sciences. It's interested in measuring the impact of the surrounding environment onto human beings, its visual functions, and being adjust the human rhythm with his surrounds. Biogeometry engineering stands mainly in the law of the physics of quality due to the shape, color, sound, and movement elements. For example, angles and dimensions are designed geometrically according to the application area in the environment. It shows how it is working on finding collaboration in the user through the creation of the center for the fine and values such as evaluation of displacement, rotation, overlap, design, etc. Innovation of dynamic designs in biogeometry science, taking into account geometric shapes and colors to the influence of the vital energy, which differs between the organ, and the symbolism, which is the shape and color semantics of communication, which is an old as humanity itself. As we can show here, the kidney biosignature and the kidney organ. We can conclude that the visual fingerprinting is the way the introduction of balanced energy to the organs, as these forms give the ideal energies necessary for the organs of the human body, and the presence of rights in the field of energy. These forms occur ringing between geometric shapes and among the organs of the human body to reach the ideal situation for these organs. Because the energy forms of work to amplify and balance the energy fields in the human body at all levels to address the body himself to feel the positive effects of the individual. Here are several visual fingerprints of the most famous of colon, prostate, intestine, energy balance, heart, kidney, spine, protection from cancer, and others. And different forms of visual fingerprints are for linear drawings, abstract, symbolizing each one of them to certain organ of the human body, and all of them have a specific bar quality, private intervention in resonance with the organ who represents a balanced equilibrium, and it's happening in that organ. Visual fingerprint for depression and emotional problems appears on the timeline as a curve, zigzag, straight body, again curve, zigzag. Biogeometry engineering have many applications such as beverage manufacturing, meat and polarity, agriculture, drug manufacture, wireless and communication, transportation, architecture engineering. Architecture engineering shows obvious in Hurghada, in the village of Ain Sokhna, Portray village. Also, we used it in Hassan Fathi as the first use for biogeometry. Transportation, wireless communication, agriculture, manufacturing of meat. It was registered as a patent. Aim of our research here, our aim is solving the problem of creation the textile designers in order to get a new methodology for creation that fulfills the proper needs of the textiles. We used the motifs of and philosophy of biogeometry and its close relationship with the basics of textile designs and textile construction. 250 different designs were applied to study the negative and positive biogeometrical energies, select the best and effective designs. Designs on paper showed different effects when compared with those weaved. We found that these elements helped depressed children to get effective in the use of medical treatment and decreasing the dose. Egyptian and the entire world suffered from increasing the depression disease between the children of age range between 8 to 12 years. This research will offer a new technique to treat them by using the motif of depression in biogeometry science. In order to make textile designs treated with advanced material based on natural antidepressant, example lavender. Firstly, a design was selected regardless its color and direction was chosen on the basis of its effect on psychological issue, especially on depression disease. 20 designs were studied with respect to thickness of each design. Then we started classificating for the designs upon which is giving positive energy or negative, according to the biogeometrical way of measuring, and which shows the best positive 20 designs. These 20 designs were compared with each others to see which is more positive. These 20 designs were compared with respect to their size, thickness, direction, color, height, and distribution for the highest energy effect. The results showed a great effect of the biogeometrical textile designs on the treatment of depression children. Karim Ibrahim was the first one to use biogeometry in many fields such as architecture, agriculture, and medical use. Also, Sawi Muhammad Samir was the high efficiency of biogeometry in architectural design. Ahmad Lubna Abdulaziz used the biogeometry motifs in medical fields and she applied in race. Muhammad Islam Ra'fat applied in architecture design. 250 designs were designed with weaving design basics and biogeometry basics. We measured these designs until we selected 20 designs in order to choose the best of them to weave. We selected the best 10 designs and we used the same weaving structure and the same account, the same fiber and for warp and weft. After weaving, we started searching for children from age 8 to 12 years at Abbasiyah Hospital for Psychiatry. We started examining 30 children before wearing the material and after wearing with the same depression test to measure the material effect. We found 8 of these 10 materials have very high efficiency, and we started making statistical analysis to know the best and the worst of the best to make some chemical treatments with anti-anxiety materials such as lavender as a trial to get a better result in children. Experimental work. Paper design, we designed about 250 designs, 200 using the depression biogeometry motif and 50 with depression, heart, balance, immunity, liver, calming, pituitary, and stomach motifs, upon to the recommendation of Professor Ibrahim Karim, putting in concern the biogeometry design basics and textile designing basics. And there are some examples for both kinds. Weave designs. After measuring the paper designs biogeometrically, we chose 10 designs and started modifying on them in order to be weaved in the loom. We started to put the specification of the material as following. Loom specification: 190 centimeters Italian Picanol Jamax loom, manufactured 1996, with a speed of 360 watt per minute, with a positive drafting and pegging system, shuttle ejaculation. Material specification, regular inscription textile, jacquard harness, strength 1344 cords, design strength in the harness of 1320 cords, loom width 190 centimeter, fabric width in the comb is 146.6 centimeter, repetition width is 36.6 centimeters. Now, number of receptions in the fabric width 4 receptions. Warp count is 150 denier. White polyester warp 288 yarn, 36 warp yarn per centimeter, 18 door per centimeter in the comb, 2 warp yarn per door. Weft count 15 denier, 25 colored cotton wefts per centimeters, and there are some examples for the weave designs. Children. We started making at the art therapy with the children from age 8 to 12 years old by wearing them our fabric, tracing and coloring some biogeometry motifs. We chose 30 children from Abbasiyah Hospital, Cairo, Egypt. With the help of the psychiatrists, we chose those children and made for them a test to measure their depression level before and after wearing our fabric and making the art therapy. Lavender. Our chemical treatment is under process. It was under process, but now it's finished. We chose lavender as the anti-anxiety substances to treat the best and the worst fabric. We experimented on children. We used the way of inclusion complex in the fabrics. Statistical analysis. We tried reading our fabric efficiency in the children by making some statistical analysis from the results of the test we did before and after the art therapy. Unless high readings were an indicate for high level of depression, we said that they have all the same degree, and here are some of the readings. After doing our eta analysis and arithmetic mean, we had to classify which of the fabrics is more efficient as shown in the graph. These are the results before and after the depression test for the 30 children. Result and discussion. Using biogeometry motifs help to improve the children's mood and decrease their anxiety. Using biogeometry motifs in account of multiples of number 4 gave more efficiency to the fabric. Using very fine weft fibers with a high set gave us a high opportunity not to destroy the motif's curve and to get the right energy path. Using calming colors such as blue, purple, green, and gray gave a higher effect than using anxiety colors such as yellow, red, and dark pink. Measuring energy by geometrical pendulum on paper design is totally different than from weave design, than from chemically treated design. Crosses or even putting the biosignatures motifs beside each other so close destroy the path of the energy, unless that this with some basics of design. To conclude, we can say that the merge between biogeometry, textile engineering, and designing and medical field is a very important step in the dispensing medicines in psychiatry field and created a new creative methodology in designing using some basics of textile designing, loom specification or material specification with color basics and biogeometry basics in order to get the BG3 energy needed to every organ in the body to work well. I must here now to thank Dr. Said al-Nashar. Also, I would like to express my appreciation for Dr. Khalid al-Naggar, Dr. Tariq Abdul Rahman, Dr. Samir Said, my professors in my PhD, who helped me to do this work. Also, I'd like to thank Dr. Hiba Sabri at Abbasiyah Hospital, my professor Ibrahim Karim, and his assistant Zainab Hamdi for their explanations of biogeometry. Thank you. Any questions?
It's a wonderful subject of the last presentation, but really wonderful. Thus, I would like to know what is the field of expertise, means who is the person who perceives the design for a given clinical problem. Is it a subject taught in clinical psychology or in some field? We see making a design is no problem, whether it is paper or textile, the weaver can easily do it, there is no problem. But how to perceive, what is the logic to perceive a design for a given clinical problem?
Actually, it was a problem, but clinically there isn't any right path of energy to every organ, and all over to get the body right path of energy. Any effects or disadvantages, we can't have it from biogeometry. But to design, it was a problem that we must to get the highest efficiency of biogeometry and textile design. It was so hard to make the motifs very clear and very light without any curve, in any distortion in the curves, without any some of the constructions were very bad. So after putting the specification in the end, we got a nice result.
Is it a hit and trial method?
Sorry?
Is it a hit and trial method?
Yeah.
You know, how to know which motive will fit to a particular problem? How to know the motive?
Our thesis was studying the depression motif, but as a help from Professor Ibrahim Karim, he told us to put the liver, heart, balance, also the prostate and the kidney. But the mainly affecting was the depression one. That's why we did 200 designs with depression and just 50 with these just.
Or to make the question very good question, really. To make the question clear, here the participated of the research is only faculty of methods, only textile methodology, chemical methodology. So we have got two things: design and patient. Patient need doctor to alter the text to determine if that treatment is good for that or not. You are not really in here cooperate with any medical doctor. So how did you measure that the depression is coming low or finished or is okay now? How?
That's why I went to Abbasiyah Psychiatry Hospital, and under the supervision of the doctor there, Dr. Hiba Sabri, she was the one to choose the...
We don't see really any medical doctors here to say this is good, this is not. So is this really deficiency here?
Actually, it's a field related to clinical psychology.
That's right.
But what is there in a subject being taught in that area?
For the medical protocol, we can take off any dose of any medical medicine. We just use our materials beside the medical medicine. If it's in need already, we chose the 30 children without medical medicine. They are still in the same level of depression after choosing them properly by using the pressure test, then we started to use them to wear the clothes or not.
It's okay. You have taken trial with certain number of designs. What I mean to say is, if a link can be established between a design and the problem, means the therapy can be further developed.
This is what we are thinking
It's
for.
necessary to change, to bring some changes in the design which can give better effect. You know, maybe the treatment can be further improved.
This is what we are seeking for.
One has to understand what is the science between the design and the therapy. You know, then only the therapy process can be further redefined.
My colleague Lobna Ahmad, she used it in rates, with the same biosignature, the pressure biosignature. But I'm seeking for using the biosignatures with the medical medicine, with the human medicine, not the animals medicine. That's why I'm seeking for that, a communication between biogeometry and the medical field.
Probably, you know, as
Definitely make an assessment.
if you can
Yeah.
link with some person,
That's right.
doctor,
Yeah.
then this area can be further developed.
Next time the secretary would like to do a good research, and then would like to do it alone. This is a problem, really. You have to have a team work and different, specialized the medical and art. So it needs somebody to link together. Not only you can measure the things, or you say, okay, very good result. Our children was happy with this, with your drawing. But we don't know is that affected the brain itself or not. Is it going really?
But definitely it is very
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Now we come to the end. So we are really thankful for patience for this session. So we carry on. I think what do you decide today? If anybody would like to just to submit a recommendation for this conference, any recommendations to be guiding us to develop any